Yeah, a whole ottoman dedicated to fiber and accessories. Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name's Amanda and this is Knits by Mandy, where we talk about knitting. And in today's video, I'm going to give you all a tour of my studio. And it's not a yarn studio, it's just a studio apartment, but I think that's a fun, cheeky title if I just call my entire apartment my yarn and like creating studio. And I do have things stored all over. So gotta get creative when you have a small space. So I thought that this video could be cool and interesting for two reasons and different from other yarn stash tours that you may see. The first is that I don't keep a large yarn stash. I've only been knitting for a year. And I really try to only buy things that I need. So I only try to buy yarn that I know I'm going to be making a project for. I usually don't have multiple whips at once. And I just kind of like to keep it that way for my wallet and for my space. Obviously, I know people keep big stashes for, you know, their own enjoyment or own reasons, but this is just what I like to do and how I like to craft and like keep things in my home, which is extremely personal. So, and the second thing is that I live in a pretty small space. It's like a 550 square foot apartment, I mean, which is pretty nice for a studio, but it's still a studio apartment. So I thought I could kind of show you where I store things and where I get creative and kind of, in some cases, using yarn as decor or, you know, shoving needles into cozy little spaces for them to live forever. So without further ado, I think what we'll do is I'm gonna like almost take you on a tour of all the places that I store things, and I'll talk about the yarn that I have in there and talk about my supplies. I'm so excited for this. I hope you are too. Okay, so the first place I have you in my apartment is my very bright and sunny couch bar cart area, and you're probably like, Amanda, what are you doing there? That doesn't make any sense. Where's the yarn? Well, I first wanted to quickly talk about like the only acquisition I recently have. I did just do a knitting for Olive order, my first ever one, because I'm celebrating a lot of things right now. My birthday's coming up. I got a new job, so I'm in a space of like excess. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm like, I should just buy everything because I'm worth it. So I'm gonna make the anchor sweater in purple, dusty, it's like artichoke purple. Oh my God, it's so pretty. The merino wool. Anyway, this isn't that. This is actually a sock yarn from an Etsy store called Lynn's Fine Yarn. Go off, Lynn. And it is this like sparkly cranberry black hand-dyed yarn, and I'm gonna make the James Watts pure mesh crop in this. So picture this in mesh. I'm so delighted. And Lynn, a doll, sent in this extra mini skein as like a bonus, and it came with the stitch marker. So that's pretty cool. It's a cool pattern because you only need one ball of yarn or like one hank of yarn. So like it's a $27 top, which you could go to Zara and pay for that. So I think that's cool. And what is this? This is, it's a sock yarn. So it's 75% superwash merino. Oh, I didn't realize it was superwash. Nylon and silver. But I really wanted to have like something sparkly in it. So I guess that's why I got superwash. I'll live. Okay, that's the first thing. I didn't even address why we're on the couch. We are on my couch because my ottoman has storage space in it. And this is like the best thing that ever happened to me. And let's just take a look in my knitting ottoman. Yeah, a whole ottoman dedicated to fiber and accessories. Okay, I keep moving around because there's seemingly no good place to film, but I think this is cool. We're on my couch. And brief overview shot of what I have in my ottoman. And I'll put that in, and talk about what I have in here. So pretty standard, I don't know. This is what like ended up in my Ottoman. So I just finished sweater number 15, which I knit with this We Are Knitters Touch Me Mohair in the Finita yarn. And I don't know if I talked about that in that video. Basically what happened was that I was ordering this yarn around Christmas time, and the supply chain around Christmas was just so messed up. And I basically ended up getting 2 packages for the price of 1, and I didn't return it, and I keep advertising that on the internet, and you know, no one's coming at me yet. So anyway, that happened to me with another thing. I got a free Lululemon belt bag because I got one from my cousin, and they sent it to me twice. So there was just a lot going on with, remember, if we can be in a place of Christmas 2021, it was just nuts. So I have 3 balls of this Finita and 4 of this Touch Me Mohair. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with it. I definitely don't wanna like touch this anytime soon because I just finished knitting a sweater with this yarn. But I definitely feel like this would be good to hang on to. Maybe if I wanna do something with like color work in the future, this would be cool to use. And then, you know, eventually maybe if someone would really, really want this, I could get rid of it or like gift it. So I have this just waiting in the wings for when I'm in the mood. Probably I won't touch this for like until the fall at least, but you never know. And the other yarn thing I have in here is, if you watch Simply Nailogical, this is like my Peely bag. It's just like scraps, and I don't save all of my scraps in like a swatch, I don't know. I don't save all of my scraps, but when I do, I put them in this bag, and I think maybe one day if I want to like make a pillow or something, I'll have scraps to fill it with. It just feels like it's like not enough yarn to do something with, and I don't really want to tie all this yarn together, but I could use it for something. So I am keeping it in a bag. Again, I don't save every single scrap. I think I'd have way more if I did. But this is just kind of like, this was the beginning of it, and then the Ziploc baggie got too big, so it's now just in this. It did come in handy because I did have to repair one of my friend's hats, and I had the leftover yarn from the hat to do it, so I guess that's best practice. That is the yarn that's in here. The other accessory things that I have in here are my ball winder and my Swift. My brother got this for me for Christmas, and I didn't even ask for this. He just like looked up good gifts for knitters and did his research and got me one, which I thought was like the sweetest thing in the world. This is the Ollycraft brand. Again, I didn't purchase it. So then it comes with a Swift, and it's metal, and this unfolds. It looks like the umbrella thing. Yeah. So I've used this a few times. I think I might do maybe a little organizing at the end of this video, depending on how long it gets. And maybe we can just like chill and wind some yarn. How fun is that? How fun is that? I have like a ball of scrap yarn. I acquired scrap yarn, and that's more in another part. And I do have this Brooklyn and tote bag. Sponsored by Brooklyn, just kidding. One day, I have a Brooklyn and Duvet. Anyway, one day I'll be sponsored. But I just use this as a project bag. I know a lot of people have like dedicated project bags, but canvas totes can't go wrong. I don't currently have anything in this because I don't always keep my projects in bags. Like when I'm working on, I have like my knitting bowl too. So if I'm literally ever on the go, I'll put things in here. Works like a charm. And the last thing I have in here is this file folder. So I do have an exchangeable needle set, which I usually just keep out on a shelf in my apartment to like use whenever I need it. And that's what I've been using most consistently since I got it in December. But I do keep, it's not labeled or organized because I don't know if you could tell, I'm not that kind of gal. But I do keep, I'll just show you, all my circulars in here. I went through a phase last year when I was just starting knitting where I kept knitting things on 4mm needles, but I just needed different cable lengths. So I have like 4 different 4mm needles in here, and a 5 and like a 3.7. And then I do have some larger ones, some Lear Knitters ones that I got. I also have my cable needles in here, which I got from a free like gift from Hobie. I love that about Hobie. They usually send you like a free trinket, which like, what a marketing ploy, right? Like, oh wow. But I use these a lot. And then, yeah, I basically keep any other kind of like thing in here that I need to throw in here. So it's mostly just circular needles and my cable needles. So that concludes what's in my Ottoman. And I still have some more needles and yarn to show you. But yeah, let's move on to the next thing. The next place that I have things in my apartment is in this ceramic planter. This was actually like the OG spot for my yarn collection. I got this planter from a Buy Nothing group in my area, and I was so excited about it when I commented on it and won it. It's like from TJ Maxx. And I'll just show you, let's like go through what's in here. This like might not be that exciting to people, but this is just like what I've accumulated, you know? It's a very raw and realistic look at what I have in here. So the first thing is a whip, which I kind of forgot about, and I just restarted doing the back panel. It's the bovine tank from Park and Knits. I finished this in the like fall and needed to do the back, but like the back was just done on straight needles and black yarn, and it sounded so boring to me and it was getting cold. So I put it on hold until it got warmer, but I think I will finish up the back and do the straps, hopefully to have it ready by this season to wear. Okay, that's the only like item I have in here. The rest, this is like raw. This is intimate. Okay, so I have some scraps, which actually can probably go into my scrap ball from, this is Petite Wool. And this is Noro Soft Garden yarn from my sweater. I only ended up with that much, so that was exciting. And you know what? We might do some reorganizing too. This is honest, raw, and real. So I'm gonna put this actually on the side because I have some chunky yarn to save this in. The next few things I have in here are balls of acrylic yarn. I had a white one in here. I don't know where it went. I just have this acrylic yarn from when I made a crop top last year. I could definitely wind this up. It's a little mess, but I don't really have a use for this color. I don't really like it that much, so she waits in the wings. I have a gauge swatch, and I have I actually have a lot of balls of this drop snow. You'll see it kind of dispersed in the other places as well. I knit the Gilmore Girls sweater with this that you can see in my what I made this year video, and it's just a single ply wool. It's really affordable. It is itch, but I have a few more plans for it. I already knit it into a scrappy scarf and still have so much left over. I think I want to make maybe like something felted with it because it'd be a great felting yarn. So that's an option. I have, going back to the bovine tank, I have this caught lin from, I think it's Knit Picks, in the colors black and swan. And that's because I need to finish the tank top. And so I have these, again, waiting in the wings. I also have another gauge swatch here, and I don't even know what this is. I should probably frog it and put it in the scrap bin. You're going in the scrap bin. I have 2 balls of Hobie Rainbow Cotton, and this is green. I think it was light green. It's color 19. Love this cotton. It's really fun. I had leftovers from a tank top I made this summer. I really overbought for a lot of things because I think I didn't do a gauge swatch, or I would like edit the patterns and make them more cropped or something. So ended up having a lot left over of this. Not sure what I want to do with it yet. On the lines, I also have to get this bag here. On the lines of other cotton, I still have a good amount of the We Are Knitters Pima cotton. I loved using this, and I definitely want to make more things with this summer. Really fun. This is the hand painted one. I've shown this in another video, back when your girl was hand winding yarn, which you can definitely hand wind yarn, you don't need a ball winder. However, I think I might just rewind this for fun. But this is the Correa Little Sisters fingering yarn in Blood something. It's like Bloodthirsty or something blood. I made my Venice wrap tank in this. It's a gorgeous hand-dyed merino wool. And I want to make a summer crop top with this again this year. So that'll be laborious since it's so thin, but it'll look so good. More cotton from the bovine tank. More scraps. This is raw. Like, I know I keep saying this, but this is like really, like, I'm really showing you everything. This is a leftover ball of yarn of Woolies, just the Woolies regular worsted weight, or maybe it's more of an Aran weight, and this is in the denim color. I don't love how this ended up being a finished product in my sweater, but it's a nice like crop store alternative. It's an acrylic wool mix, and I really like the color. It kind of has like some like pink and green like threads in there, so I also need to wind this up. I have this is another Knit Picks yarn. This is Swish DK, and I think the Heathered Forest color. I made a baby cardigan with this year, and this is extremely soft, and so I think if you would need a superwash, I would really recommend this. It's super soft and like really cute, and I think for a baby it was perfect. So that's that. I think it's really pretty, and I want to make something for my boyfriend using that type of yarn but a different color. Line brand Trubu, which this is a bamboo made with rayon made with bamboo, and I made the magnetic force tank with it this year. I didn't like working with this yarn. Maybe I had a bad ball, but it was really like lots of joins, really slippy, like too slippy, and I don't like love how it's worn over time, and I've only worn that shirt a few times. But I've railed on this yarn before, so I will coyote for a second. So that is what is in the planter. I will show you what's in the bag next. Okay, so this is kind of part of that same like section of my home where I just have this bag in that planter, and my former roommate actually gave me, her grandma had a bunch of scrap like leftover yarn, she gave it to me. So that's what a lot of this is. That's what most of these are. Like, I don't know. Thumbnail. This is actually cute. Okay, sorry. I don't know what these are. I think most of these are acrylic. I think this one might be a wool. But I'm pretty sure they're acrylic, if not wool, acrylic blends. So this is like a tweedy red, which I think is really cute. And I guess they're mostly a DK weight. This one looks maybe a little heavier. This like eggplant color, which is such a favorite color of mine. So I just have these for now. Not sure what I'm gonna do with them, but I figured these are kind of like fun, non-invasive scraps to keep around. So I have more things which go into the scrap. Oh no, this isn't a scrap, this is attached to a ball. This is, I loved working with this yarn. This is Big Little Yarn Co. I don't know what the colorway was, but I made baby hats in this yarn, and it's so pretty. I got this at my local yarn store, Looped, here in DC, and I definitely want to get more from this dyer. Yeah, the baby hats are really cute, and I'm not sure what I'll do with this. Maybe, I feel like a lot of these have similar colors. Maybe I could make like a granny square bag or something. That would be cool. This isn't really like my colorway. I mean, even this teal goes with it too. So what would you make with this amount of yarn? Let me know. Yeah, so these are just kind of little bits and bobs that I have in here. The last two things are, I have this like, I was gonna make my friend a baby blanket, and then this was pre-pandemic, before I got really back into knitting. I don't know why I still have this. Okay, anyway, just put it in the Ottoman. It doesn't exist if it's in the Ottoman. And this is something I got from yarn.com for the Jessie Made Ripple Bralette and butt shorts. This is all I have left, and it is the baby silk cashmere. I don't even know if they still have this. This is pretty soft. I like it. It's not like the softest thing for a bralette, but it's not like really a real bra. It's like a, I'm gonna lounge around the house but be cute bra, which if you know, you know. Okay. I identified a lot of scraps to go into the scrap bag. So I have two more places that I keep yarn, and that's on my bar cart because I'm a millennial and I have a bar cart, and my bookshelf. So I have these baskets that keep them in, and this is a basket of chunky yarn and also leftover mohair from my last sweater. And I have these 15mm needles because I think they're kind of fun just to like sit in here for a show and like decoration, to be like, these are knitting needles very clearly. So I have more drop snow in here, which I will not keep talking. Oh, this is like all drop snow. Do you want to count? Oh my goodness gracious. I'll talk about these really quickly, but I have 3, that's 4, 5, no? Oh my gosh, I need to eat lunch. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I still have 9 balls of this. I don't know what went wrong. I did a bellish pattern, and I think I ended up choosing a much, like, it was like a super chunky pattern, and this is only, I think, bulky. So there was a miscommunication in between, I think, how this yarn is classified and the gauge that the Bellish app was calling for. And I did do a gauge swatch, but I still think I over-ordered. So like, I don't know, but I ordered what they told me to. So I don't know how that works. That's not my fault. I don't know. So I have these, and I remember why. I hide all of this white yarn that I don't know what to do with all of my Woolies scraps. So I think this gray one actually is, I think it's called Heritage. It's like the other craft store bulky option, but I think this is just acrylic. And this is really special because this is the project that first got me back into knitting. And I don't know if I've told that story before, but 2020, I just started dating my now boyfriend, and we started dating like in November, and we still wanted to send each other Christmas gifts. So my mom was like, well, why don't you make him a scarf? And I was like, that's weird. I'm not gonna knit him a scarf. I haven't knit in so long. Like, and then I kind of thought about it more, and obviously really liked him. So I was like, this is thoughtful, but if I like knit a scarf and he doesn't like it, I won't be that mad because it's just a scarf. And I've knit less important people's scarves in my life, but we're still together. It worked out. So that's what this is from, and that's just kind of a fun memory. And I used all of these yarns in my funky chunky scarf that I made last year. I'll put a picture of it in. But these are just the Woolies scraps. I made all of my friends Woolies hats last year. This is the Thick and Quick, and this is like all the leftover yarn I have from that, which I think is really cool. So I tried to really whittle most of it down when I made that scarf, but even still that scarf comes down to my calves. So I'll have to maybe knit another hat with these. I think I might just have enough for a hat. So I have like this like blue denim color. This is a really old colorway. I don't even know if they still sell this. It's like Michigan State blue. I was gonna make my cousin a hat one year when he went to Michigan State, but now we're all out of college, and that was a long, long time ago. I think this is also another old colorway that I made something when I was in college. I had some like knitting I would dip my toe back in and then I'd stop again because school was really busy. This is like an olive color. And then I have really like true scraps of this pink, and this is, I think, the color hat that I have. So yeah, that is, well, okay, one more thing. I have, on my bar card, I have this ball of petite wool, which I made this sweater vest with. So I still have to use this up, so maybe I can use these. I feel like I could also make a felted headband with this too. But how many felted headbands does a girl need? I feel like this video, I'm like high octane. But I had not been in the mood to film, and now I was like really in the mood to film this afternoon, so this is what you're getting. That is all my yarn. I just wanted to show you a few more things that I have, kind of like bits and bobs that I have in my desk drawers, and yeah, let's get into it. Okay, relics of a beginner knitter live in my desk drawer, and they're all of my straight needles. And I don't really use these anymore. I know a lot of people prefer to use their circular sets, and I'm one of those people. But I mean, first of all, these are nice like bamboo needles. These are like the Takumi ones they sell at Joann's and Michael's, and they got me really far. I mean, they didn't get me that far, but yeah, I knit everything on straight, really long needles, which even I feel like I keep dropping me. I have a few shorter sets, and those are even more comfortable to hold. These really long ones, clearly I'm having a hard time keeping them in my hands. They're hard to hold. They're not all facing. Like, why do I have these? I knit a whole shirt on these, I think. These are 3.25s, and I have the circular ones of these too now. So we live and we learn, and I could still use these if I ever wanted to make a scarf and didn't want to use my needles, I guess. I don't think I have 10 millimeters in my interchangeable, so they're also really pretty. Like, this is just like thumbnail. This is just like a satisfying hold. What if I got married and held a bouquet of knitted needles? I'm sure someone has done it. But yeah, I have these, and then a few other accessories. I have these stitch markers that, again, when you buy Hobie yarn, they send you a free little gift, and these are my gift, and these are so handy. It's little stitch holders that look like safety pins. I have bobbins from when I made my bovine tank, because that started in Tarja. Is it Intarsia or Intarsia? I will continue to say Intarsia, but I hear people say Intarsia, and I'm like, that sounds like a freaking Disney movie. That sounds lovely. Anyway, I got the plastic bobbin because I really wasn't sure what I was doing, but I wouldn't recommend these because they get caught really easily, like entangled in each other. And I think it would just be easier if I would have, there's a way, I think it's called like a butterfly bobbin, where you can tie the yarn yourself, and they're just like little balls, and I think that'd be way easier than wrapping them around this. But that was a lesson learned the hard way. And then I also have just some T-pins, which I could use for blocking, but guess what, I don't. So if you're blocking like lace, I think these are helpful, but I don't use these every time I block something out of laziness. So that's that. Okay, so that's the end of the video. Here's me and my Ottoman. Thank you so much again for being here today. If you liked this, you can like and subscribe to my channel. I try to post maybe every 2 weeks as what we're kind of looking at right now. But I love having you here. I really appreciate you spending your time with me today, and let me know what you thought of the video, and I'll hope to see you soon. Bye. Wait, this is really cool. Like, stay back. Girlies are walking around with tasers. I could just be walking around with fistfuls of wooden knitting needles. Okay, I'm sorry for slinging that in your face. We're friends here, not foes.